Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the Gospel of Mark. Today we're in Mark chapter 3, reading verses 13 through 19. Now, so far in Jesus' ministry, we've seen that he has been proclaiming the arrival of the kingdom of God. The kingdom is here. It's good news. It's gospel. The kingdom is here because he is the king. He's also been healing the sick and setting people free from evil spirits. These miraculous signs are authentication of the kingdom and that he is the king. He's also been calling disciples, those to follow him and to learn from him, to walk after him. We've seen the specific calls of a few of the disciples. We saw how he called Peter and his brother Andrew, and also how he called James and his brother John. We also saw how he called Levi or Matthew. But there are other disciples as well whose specific callings are not given to us. And now in this paragraph from Mark chapter 3, we're going to see how he appoints 12 of his disciples to be his apostles. An inner circle of 12. These will be the apostles. And that's told to us in Mark 3, verses 13 through 19. Let's read that now. So Jesus went up on a mountainside, and he called to him those whom he wanted, and they came to him. He appointed 12, that they might be with him, that he might send them out to preach, and to have authority to drive out demons. These are the 12 he appointed: Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter; James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. To them he gave the name Boanerges, which means sons of thunder; Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Now, it's clear from this paragraph that Jesus had many followers, many who were becoming his disciples. But among those who followed him, among those who were his disciples, he chooses 12 to be especially close to him, to be an inner circle around him, as it were. These are the 12 apostles, and their names are given in this paragraph in Mark chapter 3. Now, the first question we might ask is, why did he choose 12? Why is there an importance about the number 12? Why not 10 or 8 or 14 or 16? There were many more disciples than just 12. It's just that of the multitude of disciples who are following, 12 are chosen to be especially close. They are chosen to be the apostles. But why 12? Well, I think the answer is pretty clear to us. It's because there were 12 tribes of Israel. Remember, as God chose the family of Abraham to become his special people, to become his chosen ones, to become his nation, there was Abraham, then Isaac, then Jacob. They are the patriarchs. And then of the 12 sons of Jacob would eventually come the 12 tribes of Israel. So the people of God would be comprised or come from those 12 tribes, the number 12. And then we see that through the rest of the Old Testament, the 12 tribes of Israel. And now, as Jesus is forming the people of God in response to the coming of the kingdom, he chooses 12 apostles that they correspond symbolically to the 12 tribes of Israel. So as there are 12 tribes of Israel, now there are 12 apostles. Now keep in mind, they are not the only disciples of Jesus. It's not only, Jesus only had 12 disciples. No, of his many disciples, many who are following him, who are believing in him, he chose 12 to be his apostles. They would be the leaders of the rest. He would especially train them so that they could train others. And so at this point, as his ministry is expanding, as the crowds are growing, as more and more disciples are following him, he chooses 12 to be his apostles. He chose the ones he wanted. In other words, he selected them. He called them. Now, there's some specific things they are called to do as apostles, specific parts of the task, and he mentions these. we're going to start looking in detail tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, at what Jesus wants his apostles to do. So join us again for our next 5-minute Bible study in the Gospel of Mark as we look at the specific things that Jesus calls his apostles to do. So join us for that next session.